Picture this, a newly independent nation, struggling to create something unprecedented, a system where the people choose their leader. That was America in 1787. The challenge seemed insurmountable. How could 13 distinct states unite to select a single leader? The answer would shape the course of democracy for centuries to come. In the wake of the American Revolution, our founding fathers gathered at the Constitutional Convention of 1787 with a monumental task. The Articles of Confederation had proven inadequate, and the nation needed a new framework for governance. Their solution was revolutionary: the Electoral College, a system designed to balance the interests of both populous and smaller states. The first presidential election, held between December 15, 1788, and January 10, 1789, was unlike anything we see today. 10 states participated, with North Carolina and Rhode Island absent due to their delayed ratification of the Constitution. New York failed to appoint electors due to legislative disputes. In this historic moment, George Washington secured all 69 electoral votes available, while John Adams became vice president with 34 votes. The simplicity of this first election masks the complexity of what was to come. By 1796, American politics had already begun to transform. The election that year marked the first true contest between political parties, with Federalist John Adams securing 71 electoral votes to defeat Democratic Republican Thomas Jefferson's 68 votes. But the system's flaws would soon become apparent. The election of 1800 plunged the nation into crisis. Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr tied with 73 electoral votes each, sending the decision to the House of Representatives. This deadlock led to the 12th Amendment in 1804, fundamentally changing how we elect presidents and vice presidents. The period through 1824 saw a remarkable evolution. James Monroe's re-election in 1820 proved so uncontentious that he received all but one electoral vote, earning this period the name the Era of Good Feelings. But this unity wouldn't last. The election of 1824 shattered the era of good feelings. Andrew Jackson won the popular vote and secured 99 electoral votes, but still lost the presidency when the House of Representatives chose John Quincy Adams. This corrupt bargain set the stage for Jackson's triumphant return in 1828, when he secured 56% of the popular vote and 68% of the electoral vote, ushering in a new era of American democracy. The Jacksonian period transformed American politics. Jackson implemented the controversial spoils system, appointing loyal supporters to government positions. His presidency saw the forced relocation of Native Americans through the Indian Removal Act of 1830, leading to the tragic Trail of Tears. The period also witnessed the Bank War and the Nullification Crisis, events that would shape American democracy for generations. The election of 1860 proved to be a turning point in American history. Abraham Lincoln's victory, securing 180 electoral votes, triggered the secession of 11 Southern states. The Civil War that followed claimed over 620,000 lives and fundamentally altered the nation's political landscape. Reconstruction brought unprecedented changes to American democracy. The Freedmen's Bureau, established in March 1865, helped formerly enslaved people participate in the political process. African Americans gained the right to vote, and several, including Hiram Revels and Blanche K. Bruce, were elected to Congress. However, this progress faced violent opposition from groups like the Ku Klux Klan. The era ended with the controversial election of 1876, when Rutherford B. Hayes lost the popular vote but gained the presidency through a political compromise that effectively ended Reconstruction. The Gilded Age brought both corruption and reform to American politics. Political machines like Tammany Hall dominated urban politics through patronage and graft. But change was coming. The Progressive Era introduced crucial reforms. Secret ballots replaced public voting, reducing intimidation at the polls. The first presidential primary was held in Florida in 1901, fundamentally changing how we nominate candidates. Women's suffrage gained momentum during this period, culminating in the ratification of the 19th Amendment in 1920. The era also saw the rise of investigative journalists, known as muckrakers, who exposed political corruption and social injustice. The 20th century revolutionized political campaigns. Franklin D. Roosevelt's fireside chats during the 1932 campaign demonstrated radio's power to connect with voters. The 1960 Kennedy-Nixon debates marked television's emergence as a crucial campaign tool.
Government is comparable. Secondly, I think the question is, what are the programs that we advocate?
With Kennedy's telegenic presence helping secure his narrow victory. Each subsequent decade brought new innovations. The 1980s saw Ronald Reagan master television communications, winning 49 states in his 1984 re-election. Bill Clinton's 1992 campaign utilized early internet technology, while Barack Obama's 2008 campaign revolutionized social media outreach. Recent elections have highlighted both the strength and challenges of our system. The 2000 election between George W. Bush and Al Gore came down to a few hundred votes in Florida and a Supreme Court decision. The 2008 election of Barack Obama as the first African-American president marked a historic milestone. The 2016 election brought another dramatic shift in American politics. Donald Trump secured victory with 304 electoral votes to Hillary Clinton's 227, despite Clinton winning the popular vote with 48.2% compared to Trump's 46.1%. Trump's victory hinged on flipping key battleground states including Florida, Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, defying most pre-election polling predictions. The 2020 election unfolded during unprecedented circumstances. Amid the COVID-19 pandemic, Americans voted in record numbers, achieving the highest voter turnout in over a century at 66.8% of eligible voters. A significant increase in mail-in voting marked this election as voters sought safe ways to participate. Joe Biden emerged victorious with 306 electoral votes to Trump's 232, winning both the Electoral College and the popular vote with 51.3% compared to Trump's 46.8%. The election's aftermath featured numerous legal challenges and claims of voter fraud by the Trump campaign. The 2024 election continued the pattern of close-fought contests in American democracy. Donald Trump returned to the presidency by defeating Kamala Harris, securing 312 electoral votes to Harris's 226. Trump's victory was decisive in battleground states, as he captured all 7 key contests: Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Michigan, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. With 95% of votes counted, Republicans led by approximately 4 million in the popular vote. The election centered on major issues including democracy, the economy, abortion, immigration, and foreign policy, while showing significant Republican gains across all states compared to 2020. These recent elections have revealed several important trends in American democracy: fluctuating party control of the White House, the crucial role of battleground states in determining outcomes, occasional splits between popular vote and electoral college results, increasing political polarization, growing importance of early and mail-in voting, and evolving voter demographics and preferences. From Washington's unanimous election to today's digital campaigns, American democracy has continuously evolved. Through civil war, economic crises, technological revolutions, and social transformations, our electoral system has adapted while maintaining its core principle, the power of the people to choose their leaders. As we look toward future elections, we see new challenges and opportunities: the role of social media, campaign finance reform, voter access, and election security. Yet the fundamental question remains the same as it was in 1787. How do we ensure that the voice of the people remains at the heart of American democracy? For over 2 centuries, each generation has cast their ballots not just for candidates, but for the very idea that birthed our nation, that the power to shape tomorrow rests in the hands of every American who steps into a voting booth today.